Hello, how'd you do? We're going to do another face off today. I've got this nice Swedish frame back. C.W Dahlgren. Might be saying that a bit wrong as usual. It's had very little use from the looks of it. It's a bit of a bugger to hone. So we've got a bit of a smile going on here, haven't we? But we've got a straight back. And what that means is you've got to kind of do like a rolling X stroke, but really manipulate your wrist to make sure you're hitting it. And the trick is to stay consistent, which is quite hard. It's got some nice stamping up the top there, and I think that's something to do with the metal. Sandvik Bessemer Stahl, because Stahl means metal in Swedish. C.W Dahlgren. The Swedish pumped this style of razor out kind of around the turn of the last century, so sort of like 1900s. This is when they started doing these razors a lot. A little bit before that, sort of 10-15 years before that, from what I can figure out, like the great exhibitions, they were started to get a bit more sort of common than that. Marvellous steel. really fine, like, try and very fine grind. They really are just sort of one of the finest. It's got a little slip case. It's not for it or anything, but I had to put it in something because it's a nice little razor. And then I've got this W.R Humphreys and Co. Haddon Works, Sheffield, England, fully guaranteed. That's the box. It's a nice box, man, for something so old. And it's a really nice razor. Let's put that box up there out of the way. So, this is actually an advertising razor. So back in the day, they used to make razors, and then, you know, various companies could put their advertising on them, blah blah blah. So this is a cigarette company called Black Cat. They were going for quite a long time. It's a good Sheffield make as well, Mr. Humphreys. It's not something you see a lot of though, I must say. It's not like a really prevalent, even though I live in the UK, you don't get to see loads of them. Let's try and get as close as we can with the old Black Cat. Sat lovely on the stones. As soon as I put it on the stones, you could tell it was just sweeping over the edge lovely. So it's always a nice honing session when you get a razor like that, because you just know instantly that it's going to hone really well, and sort of very much most of the time it means they're going to shave very well as well without too much bother, which is what we always kind of want when you're honing razors. It's very rare to get a razor that sits nice on a stone. Most of them need some form of manipulation of hand, wrist or elbow, but yeah, that one straight away. I think I was the first to hone it as well. I don't think anybody's ever shaved with that fork before. I think I'm going to be the first. That C.W Dahlgren has got just the most smallest of bevels. There is a part of it that's a little bit sort of uneven, more so on one side. Oh sorry, I'm going to shave with this today as well. Captain Fawcett's. Let's try and say it again. Scapicchio. God. I need to take it down the allotment and get one of my Italian friends down there to read it to me. So I ain't got dirty hair, still got a bit of gel in it. It ain't gel, it's more like a clay. I already had a shower today, you see, already took the kid to school. I thought come back, have a quick shave. Got going out with Gertie, mate. Move some bits and bobs around today in the van. Take my young daughter up. She really loves the lady herself, so. Right. Let's have a go with this C.W Dahlgren. I really like these frame backs. I've got one of these as sort of like a keeper, and I think it actually might be a Dahlgren. I'll have to check. It needs rescaling though. Listen to that. Yeah, it's a sharp razor. If anything, it kind of needs a little bit of taming on the strop. It's still comfortable and everything, but it is one of kind of the things with these, because they're just so fine. Like, it's just so fine, especially leading towards the actual edge. And I always find it's quite a stiff steel as well, even though it's that thin. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's in the frame. I don't know, but it's definitely because the steel is just very good. Razor steel. Okay. Lovely though. Just lovely little thing. Like I say, they're not the easiest to hone. There is your skill base, or at least it will test your skill kind of thing. But that's the fun in honing as well. You know, I like all that side of kind of like honing. So I wondered what was happening now. There's the water come out of my tash. Probably a little bit thick today with my lava. It's a fine line as always. Right, let's have a go at this black cat. W.R Humphreys and Co. Razor manufacturers, Sheffield, England. That's quite a contrast, that is. Yeah, and what's interesting as well, I forgot to mention, these have got Shapson Pro 12,000 edges. I wanted to go sort of, let's just say, a bit back to basics. And just have a bit of a feeler really of the synthetic, because I got so used to having natural edges after the synthetic bevel setting and finishing stones and whatnot. I kind of wanted to have a bit more of a feel of the synthetics, and this one feels a little bit more smoother than the Dahlgren, which I expected before I shaved, because like I said, them freybacks, especially that kind of style, they're kind of known, and you know, Sheffields are known for their smoothness, aren't they? But it's interesting. It's a long time since I shaved with a 12,000 edge. It definitely feels a little tiny bit more bitey on the hull, which is, I think, the whole reason most of us like using natural finishing stones. I believe it tames the sharpness a little bit. I think it does. You know, through my own kind of experience testing stuff and, you know, running razors in different ways. I'm going to dig my cuticle out next week, I think, and give that a whirl. I've got a couple more razors. I've got one of my keepers set at 12, you see, so I'm going to have a bit of a play around with that, with the different stones I've got. Lovely though. These little weepers. Just a good stone, I mean, good razors. I'm just going to do a single pass today. Get going with my day today, I think. Just run out a bit of time. It's a lovely shame today. Very close though, especially for a single pass. Little bit left behind there. As always though as well, even when I do the against the grain, it's still not every time perfectly gets that little part of my neck. Right, dry everything down. Well, clean everything off, dry everything down. Make sure everything's dry. I always leave my razors open for sort of 24 hours. Near perfect kind of right angle as well, just because I'm a bit, you know, finicky with these things. And then when I close them up the next day, I'll give them a bit of a re-strop. I always strop my razors after shaving as well. Like dry them off, let them settle for a bit, go and get dressed, and then come back and always strop them. The reason I always come back and strop them is just to make sure there's no moisture left on the very fine bevel and especially the very fine apex. Because you only have to have a little tiny bit of moisture on that apex and you can actually damage your edge quite badly. Like I've done it before. I've not sorted a razor out. I actually did it, well I must have done it nearly a year ago, but I went to put a different edge on a razor about a month ago, and when I put it under the microscope just to have a look at the damage that one shave had kind of caused it in a way, or was it two shaves, whatever it was. And I actually noticed that I had tiny little specks of the apex that was gone. And I only did 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 laps on a finishing stone. I think it was Majane, well it was Majane that. And it got rid of them. So they're tiny, but they were there. And it would have definitely caused a slight difference in, let's just say, the shaving experience. And that's just because I didn't dry it properly or didn't strop it properly. I think it was one that I kind of left out and nearly forgot. Silly Billy. Right, I love you and leave you. Have a good day, dudes. Come on, doodaloo.